We're live. What's going on, guys? Coach Chris Becht here, the wise guy on Instagram. We are live. We are hanging out with whoever wants to come on to today's show. I haven't done this for a while. That's been my story lately. So I thought I would jump on here and see if anybody wants to yap. So I'll wait for some people to get in here while I am looking on the internet. Then we'll just kind of talk and see if there's any questions that people had. I'm just going to head over to YouTube, to my dashboard. And again, I'm terrible. Still not the greatest with my Apple. Getting all these alerts right now on my computer. It's tied into my phone, so I got to practice exploring my laptop, my MacBook, a little bit more. But yeah, so let me go into my live stream here and just take a look and see if anybody is hanging out. And then we'll kind of pick a topic, and so we'll say leave me a comment or question. Bam. So we got some, I don't know who's watching, but and do I need to edit any of this stuff? Probably not. We'll call this Coach Chris Becht live for his annual stream Q&A. There we go. Change that up a little bit. So nothing really new with myself, just doing my day-to-days selling on Amazon. Haven't launched any new private label product. Done a little bit of private label research. Still working on the content for a variety of things. Kind of ran into a little bit of a, I don't know, writer's block, if you will, for YouTube. Just was putting out kind of random content, nothing really like paving the way or whatever. So I thought, I got to go back to kind of making videos that I like to make, which are ones when I'm in stores and stuff like that. So I've thrown a few of those out there. And I know a lot of people have been watching those, so that's kind of been cool. But other than that, like, I haven't really spent a lot of time, no time streaming. I've been spending more time on my Instagram, more than anything. But that really is because my phone's with me all the time. But I know there was a bunch of people who would watch me on YouTube, so I'll try to get on here more frequently. If you have any questions, I know there's a lot of changes going on with Amazon right now. I know there's a lot of terms of services that are coming up for retail arbitrage and what you can and can't sell, and guys are getting their accounts are getting suspended, and some scary stuff going on. I've given out a little bit of what I do in certain situations. I even ran into certain situations with some of my private label stuff, where I had to think on my feet, try to figure out what was going on, reach out to Amazon help, all that type of stuff. So, and I don't mind guys reaching out to me. So if you have any questions, if you're running into any challenges, with your account or with a product or whatever, don't ask me questions. How do I get ungated for this? How do I get ungated for that? Join the course for that type of stuff. then you can ask me all those questions anytime. So, but don't necessarily ask me on like a YouTube channel, because I'm not gonna always share that. Sometimes you'll see in some of my comments in my channel, I'll share steps and I'll give like 10 steps, every step along the way in a comment. So hope a lot of people are paying attention to the community and what I put out there. But for the most part, I mean, spend the $97, join the course, and then you can take advantage of me and ask me any question, you know, about getting ungated for restricted categories, and I'll do my best to walk you through the steps. I just did I just do a video on, yeah, if you look at one of my videos on my YouTube channel recently, towards the end, I reach out to a manufacturer of a product that was popular when it's the video I just did about how to use Pinterest to do product research and to create ideas and get creative about it. But at the end of that, I reach out to one of the products that I found. I reach out to the supplier. Well, that supplier got back to me. Turns out they have a Canadian distributor for the product, and that Canadian distributor is completely open to open me up. So that's really how easy it is. And I'll definitely share that email. I'll probably do another video and throw that up there on my response to his email, just to show you guys that, like, if you're going to do it right and get unrestricted for different products out there, you got to reach out to the distributors who are given the rights in your area, or the actual brand itself. And you definitely need to, even though you're selling like different brands that you pick up at local stores, Dollarama, Dollartree, London Drugs, Toys R Us, Walmart, all those stores, and you're picking up the brands and you're scanning them, and Amazon's saying you're eligible to sell it. It looks like they're policing eligibility a little bit more. Again, I say this in a lot of videos, mainly because they're combating fraud. They're combating fakes, and they're combating counterfeit product. So, you know, you may feel like you're buying from a reputable company, but at the end of the day, it's really a challenging situation for a lot of people, because if they do get suspended, then you got to be careful, because it's going to be, whether it's a certain duration of a suspension or a permanent suspension. At the end of the day, your heart's going to sink, and you're gonna get frustrated, and it probably means you probably didn't spend much time reading the terms of services on Amazon as well. So, I mean, all those things play a part, but I mean, keep reaching out to the manufacturers that you're selling, even though you're selling them, so that if you ever were asked to produce a letter, invoice, receipts, any of that type of stuff, try to get that stuff for all the brands that you're selling. Why not? It just means possibly a phone call, an email, asking permission to sell the product online, online, offline, that type of stuff, and asking, who's the local distributor in Canada, or who's the distributor in your state, or in the US, or whatever the case may be. And then maybe reaching out to the distributor and asking the distributor for permission, all that type of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, but I have not personally had to experience any of that type of stuff. So just wanted to kind of put that out there. If you guys have any questions about that, definitely hit me up in the comment section below. And if you have any questions about it, hit me up in that comment section, and we'll, we can definitely discuss it as a group. Because there's a core group of you that obviously message me all the time, listen to me. So message me, hit me up with a comment. Let's get chatting as well. Because when you comment, guys, also it encourages me to come on to YouTube and stream a little bit more and actually hang out with you guys and talk. So what's going on, Meme Dream? Good to see you. You're always leaving me messages, and I appreciate that for sure. Should I sell long-tailed, no-rank textbooks as FBM or eBay? And should I sell long-tailed, no-rank textbooks as FBM and eBay? Yes, the answer is yes. No rank, just list it. Doesn't cost you anything to list it. Just ensure you have the inventory. And yes, that's the best way to do it. So just list it and go from there. And you can list it on both eBay and fulfillment by merchant. So give that a go. See how you like it. Yeah, I know you're doing FBA right now. It's great looking at how to start the wholesale. Wholesale is not that much different. Again, jump on that video I did, the Pinterest one. I think you've already watched it. Watch it again. It's simply about reaching out to brands, finding who the distributor is, finding out, if you can actually, if you're dealing with the brand itself, if they'll open you up. If not, if they have a distributor already, if that distributor will open you up. In your email, title it your quantity and how much you're looking to order. Subject line: would like to place an order 500 units. Would like to place an order of 300 units, wherever the case may be. Open up with an interest, and then it's in the body. Just keep it simple. Go to that Pinterest video, fast forward towards the end, and just see what I put. Do that for a bunch of brands. Start doing that for a bunch of brands. Look at the different brands out there that are doing well, have some decent rank. I've been targeting, just so you guys know, I've been looking at brands from between the 500 and 1,000 rank, in around there, and targeting those guys, just because I can probably get away with a lower quantity, say 50 to 100, test that quantity in the beginning, and then, if that rank is doing well, or if I'm selling a certain amount of units, then obviously you can spend more time and more money on their product lines. Once you're opened up with a brand, you have obviously the whole line of product that you can sell on Amazon as well. So that was an awesome question. Where do you find those wholesalers? And I need to get ungated in toys too. Any advice? Just keep selling books and then apply? Yes. Step one, scan everything. Make sure you're in the stores and you're scanning every toy out there. Keep your rank open to as high as 100,000, so that if you do scan a product that is, say, 80,000 or 90,000 or 100,000, eventually you're going to find toys that you're eligible to sell. You're not gated for every toy. You're not gated in the toy category. I'm certain you're not gated in the toy category completely. But you do have to, you did say you're doing FBA. Okay, great. So you're doing FBA. So yeah, you definitely need to ship your products to Amazon for Q4. Most people are gated in Q4 for toys if they haven't. Let's kind of talk about that. So you might have to answer this for me right now, Meme Dream Team. When did you start your FBA account? Because the cutoff was July. I believe it was the end of July. So if you didn't have a shipment into Amazon by the end of July, believe somewhere around there. I'd have to go look at the email. I kind of just ignore and delete those now when I get them. But if you didn't have a shipment in by the end of July, then everybody is gated in toys for Q4. You will open up come Q1, so in January. But everybody's gated. If they hadn't sent in their shipment by the end of July or some point in July, I believe, and if you haven't sold a certain amount of stuff as well, I believe there's a certain level or certain number, I don't know what that number is, that qualifies you to be fulfillment by merchant for Q4. So if you're gated, I misspoke, for toys, you're gated for the quarter, not necessarily for toys, but you're gated for the quarter because they do restrict sellers. One, and two, they're trying to prevent Q4 sellers. So sellers who only want to sell during Q4 and then completely disappear and kind of are just in for that month. So you have to have some sales history for a period of time, and yeah, you have to have it in, I believe, in July. So, and you have two accounts, one in 2015 and a brand new one I made for .ca. And your one, I guess, for 2015 is .com. Wonder. So I mean, that's all right. I don't know. I always thought you could only have one account, but I've never, as far as like for you, an individual. I know you obviously can use other people in your family, have multiple accounts that way. You figured you're gated on toys this quarter. What other categories should you do? I mean, really? Books, obviously you're in books. I'm just trying to think of categories you wouldn't be gated in that you would do. Home and or just home, you know, so stuff for your home is decent. Automotive is a nice category to sell in. What other categories? I mean, I'm just thinking of the product aisle. So I know a lot of home stuff, water bottles, baby. Baby is a restricted category. You do have to apply. You have to have some selling history. What would be another one with decent product sales? If you're interested in sporting goods, you could jump into that. Look for stuff in there. I mean, really, at the end of the day, nothing's as great as toys and books. Unless you've launched a private label product, you've kind of, you know, what I would do if I were you, Meme, is jump onto one of my videos from before where I talk about how to look at the top selling products or the trending products on your Seller Central account, and then just go into the different categories: automotive, baby, sports, electronics. There's one for you, so you might want to look at electronics. Then look in those categories in the top 100 and just go through that inventory and get a sense of what products exist in the top 100. Meaning, wrap your brain around it so that when you are out there doing RA, you see something and you go, and it triggers that, hey, oh, that's a top 100 product, or that's a top 100 niche or keyword or whatever. That's how you'll get a better sense of what to sell. But I like to go into the top 100s and look at every category I like to sell in, so maybe 10 different categories. And I like to see the different things like homes, steel straws, you know, whatever. There's so many products. So for inspiration, just go look at any one of those last 3 or 4 videos I did. I watched them again. Cross-eye box breaks. These last 2 months, FBA has been checking in nearly all my shipments with the wrong quantity of items. Had very few issues before, but now it's horrible. Was wondering if you have the same issue. I had an email I did like not. I don't. I know they do not like it when you say there's 20 and you only send them a quantity of 18. I know they'll send you an email right away. They'll probably put a mark on your account. You do have to be tight with that. So yes, I've only had that experience one time. I have my private label, like my private labels often will send replenished. So they'll tell me like, hey Chris, I'm gonna send you 20 extra units for your defective, and I'll forget and I'll issue like 1,000 ordered. But when Amazon receives it, they'll receive 1,020. But weird, I don't get emails for those. But yeah, just be careful. I mean, you got to really make sure that you are perfect on your counts, perfect on your uploads, your shipping plan, and they're accurate when they get to Amazon. Calgary has been an absolute worst. Brampton is bad too. Mississauga has been only decent one. Yeah, all of my inventory for the most part go to Brampton. Barely ever send it to anywhere else. But again, and it may just be because I sell such a high volume on a month-to-month basis. I don't know if I'm getting slack. What kind of volume do you do, Cross-Eye? Let me know. On a month-to-month basis. I'm just curious if they're singling you out. Hopefully not. I mean, just tighten that up. Guys, when you're dealing with Amazon, you got to run a tight ship. They're not picking on you. They're just making sure that every business is running a tight business. Your customer service has to be tight. Your returns have to be low and under control. If you're dealing with a lot of problems with your products, address it. Implement an action plan. Prevent Amazon from having to single you out, suspend your account, all that type of stuff. Get in your account, look at your stranded inventory, remove stranded inventory, all that type of stuff. Don't just ship stuff there and wait and pray, but spend time monitoring and managing your account. It's funny, and again, my course is $97, but there's a whole section 6, on managing your account, managing your business. You know, there's 10 hours of content for $97. If you haven't bought my course, go buy the course, because all this stuff is in there. And some of it that isn't, you can always reach out to me and we'll connect. I'm going to study all the top 100 products on every category. That's what you got to do. You got to do it, and you got to go. The great thing about the phone that I like is that it goes past top 100. It goes to the top 500. Might even go higher than that. It's so convenient. Again, I wish I would show you, but my phone is dead right now. So, but yeah, you just jump onto there, jump into Seller Central, click Add Product. Right there, you can look at top sellers, you can look at hot product, you can look at movers and shakers, all that type of stuff. You're selling about 1,000 to 1,200 items a month. I'm sending in the right amount, but they aren't counting properly. I end up getting reimbursed during the reconcile period, but it's a headache. Yeah. I mean, that's a great volume of product. Likely they're not singling you out, and you can always reach out to Amazon Help. Again, be proactive. Reach out to them. Just tell them you are aware. On your end, you're ensuring that your volumes are accurate, your stickers are correct, you have an action plan in place, and you're monitoring it, and that's the most you can do. But ask them, lead with a question. Ask them if there's anything in addition you can do to than what you're doing right now, and give them about 3 or 4 points on what you're doing. But open up that dialogue with Amazon Help. And if they say, yeah, for that particular issue, we found, are you doing, another question is, are you doing commingled inventory, or are you doing stickered inventory? I went back to stickered inventory. I stopped doing commingled. Maybe, I don't know, man. You almost have to, like, I like to reach out to Amazon and ask questions when I get an email, and create an action plan, that type of stuff. Me and doing our, yeah, you guys need to get your private label business going. Been making a point of letting people know that another way to do private label is to be good at retail arbitrage. So retail arbitrage is going to help give you a lot of ideas of products that are going to sell extremely well on Amazon. By launching out a bunch of products, look at your products that are selling well. Obviously, if they're a brand, if they're a toy, if they're a certain type of product, but if they're a commodity or kind of a routine item like vacuum bags or, headbands or something that, you could have made, you might want to look at using your retail arbitrage numbers and volume to spin it into your private label product and look to source that same product out of China versus buying it from, stores. So I'm adding that to my retail arbitrage course, my 2.0, and that's why that didn't drop, is I've put in that whole new section about retail arbitrage, and using that as a tool for private label. So how to strategize with your retail arbitrage products to actually monitor your volume, and then obviously do research in off Alibaba or made in China or DHgate or whatever. So again, almost like part of my hybrid concept, but for retail arbitrage specifically. So if you're labeling everything yourself, then you're doing what I'm doing. I stopped doing commingled as well. So it was just, and I stopped doing it because there are some of the products where I'm bundling, and I needed to create a listing because I was bundling and use a new UPC barcode. So they're building a new fulfillment center here in BC as well, in Vancouver. I think they're building it in. I think they're building in Delta or something. No, Delta already has one, but I can't remember. But they're building one out here too. Football fields. Any no, I haven't been hanging around in many of those groups. I barely even hang around in my own groups. I'm not part of the Canadian FBA group. I used to be in those groups, and I used to spend too much time in those groups. It was a good thing when I did. But I used to spend probably 2 to 3 hours a night on average in those groups answering questions, because that's a way that I taught myself how to do everything, as I would go in there and then answer questions for people and obviously, help people out. But I haven't been in my group. I haven't been in a bunch of groups. There's a couple I like, but for the most part, I go in there and I just like, I'm looking for a group probably that's a little more local, not Canadian. I might start one for Vancouver, and maybe do like a local one. There probably is one. I just know on this channel we get about 12 or 15 locals. Not that I'm separating myself from the Canadians. I love the Calgarians. So, but I wanted to do some meetups and stuff like that. Just never really had a chance to get that going. So hopefully we'll get that in the works. You had a laugh the other day, was adjusting some prices on your inventory and came across an item that we were both selling. You ended up selling out the next day though. Right on. You know what? I was thinking about that. Cross-eyed. I was thinking about, so you know when you find a product in a store, and you're kind of, when you first scan it, there's like, it's a hot one, it's got really low rank, and it's selling for a really good profit, like 20, 25 bucks. So you jump on it, obviously. You get a decent amount of inventory, obviously. And then, you look at the listing like whatever, a month or whatever later, and you'll see like 30 or 40 sellers. So what I'm getting at is you can kind of tell how many qualified sellers in Canada there are, especially in your, I would kind of almost zone it to your area. I don't know how Dollarama's work, but I was thinking about this earlier today. I was looking at a product that I was selling, and I'm like, I just jacked the price way up because I'm like, I'm not going to sell it for a loss right now. I'll just hold out until everyone else sells their inventory out. So I was looking at a product, and that I had gotten in early on, and then all of a sudden I was looking at it today, and there was like 35 FBA sellers. So it kind of gave me that concept of that's probably all the local ones in my area. I don't know how far it spans because I don't know how wide across Canada that Dollarama kind of spreads all their brand name products. So, but I was just kind of looking at it, I'm like, I should make a list of all these ones, and we should have some etiquette. There's no etiquette. I always talk about etiquette, price etiquette. If a product is low ranked, guys keep beating me by a penny, beating me by 5 cents, just nose diving the price to a point of no return. And I'm like, why not just share the buy box at a higher price, 18 bucks, 20 bucks, and just rotate through the inventory? People are buying it. Like, especially if you look at a product, I'll give you an example. Wonder Arms was what I was thinking about. It's the product that was, when I first saw it, was really low rank, just came into Dollarama's, and it was selling for 25 bucks. And I think I was like the third FBA seller. So I went and sourced like 20 units, and was able to sell a fair bit of them, maybe like 6 to 10 of them at a really good price. And then all of a sudden, about 30 FBA sellers were on that listing, and that so many people who are just automating their price or whatever just dove that price down to I think it was as low as like $12.11 or something ridiculous like that. So I left mine at like 25 bucks. It's funny because I was still selling the odd one at a higher price. So people were picking me out of the pack and buying from me. And also, there's I don't know what I have it at now, but I just think about the etiquette of it. I'm just like, and here's my point. Amazon's price on that product is $29.99. So, as long as you're beating Amazon, I don't understand why people are, and especially with that product, because that product was like a hot trending video YouTube product. So it was driving sales from YouTube. Like, so many people did reviews with that product, hundreds of thousands of reviews from different people. So that was driving sales. But all these people who are undercutting, I do it sometimes, but we should probably have a better etiquette. Start a page called Retail Arbitrage Etiquette. People dropping golden nuggets in there, bud. RA from Dollarama, Walmart seems to get flooded with sellers for sure. London Drugs too. I found some good gems there, but I found some really good niches I'm holding on to that I, like, especially, and will I share this one? No, I'm not going to share this one. I'm going to keep this a secret because it's a moneymaker for me. We should investigate where Dollarama gets their supplies and buy at wholesale. Well, Dollarama is actually the biggest liquidator in Canada. So how Dollarama works is they buy out companies that are going under, 10 cents on the dollar. Then they just distribute it. They're the biggest liquidator in Canada for the most part. So there's really no one that they're buying from. They're just buying from stores that are going out of business or brands or all that type of stuff. So yeah, there's so many sellers with no patience. Like I went on my listings and automate. Most of my retail arbitrage products are all automated for the most part, but they're automated to a point where I want to at least double my money or at least make a certain profit margin. I don't automate them to the point where I'm losing money, but I'll automate them to keep ahead of the curve, especially if there's more sellers on there, and I can tell, obviously everyone can tell a new seller from an experienced seller. So when there's a lot of new sellers, it's kind of like, I'll automate it and try to drive the market down. Then a lot of times I'll just dock my stuff at a higher price and let them sell it out. So I'll suck them down to the bottom. Hopefully they'll sell out. It's hard sometimes because a lot of products don't necessarily sell a lot of volume on a daily basis. So if the product's only selling, like, it turns out it's only selling like a couple a week, whatever. But that would be a good page I would like to join if someone started just a Canadian sellers etiquette page, and just like constantly was just like putting out education on etiquette and how to take advantage of selling on Amazon and how to share the buy box at a same price point and rotate through all that type of stuff, but I don't think that will ever happen. Yeah, a lot of people, that's why you really got to get good at your inventory numbers, and not overbuying, or at least for the most part, if you have space in your home to store products or a garage or storage, not shipping all your inventory in. I'm trying to move into the situation where I'm housing more inventory than I'm shipping to Amazon, because it's still a good idea to buy a lot of product from discount sellers, but it's not necessarily always a good idea to ship it into Amazon, but just to ship in a certain amount of quantity at a time, right? And then if it gets saturated with sellers, just hold your inventory. Learn to be patient. Learn to hold your inventory. I've had to hold, like, one time I ran into a situation where I bought over 100 of a certain type of toy that is doing, like, rank in the 2,500 on Amazon. And it was so hot and so profitable at the beginning. Like, again, $4.50 at a Dollarama, selling for $20 on Amazon. You make your $5 on every toy. But I was selling like 5 to 10 a day. Was able to run a cheap $5 automated PPC ad on it, and was just selling quite a decent amount. And then it got saturated heavy with Amazon sellers, FBA sellers, to a point where it drove it down to like $12. Was no money left on it. And I had all this inventory, all these bags of inventory, and I kept it here in storage. And all of a sudden, I was like, what am I going to do with this inventory? I forgot about it for about 5 months, and I decided to look it up, and lo and behold, everyone had sold out their inventory, everyone had liquidated, everyone had did whatever, and the listing was back down to one FBA seller, and in every Dollarama, they weren't selling a toy anymore. So it was just that one, you gotta shake and move, and you gotta slip those pockets of people that are coming at you. Like, You know, it's almost like a meteor shower. You just gotta dodge the meteor shower, get out of the way, let that pass, and then so you kind of have the front selling part, and then this media shower that happens to all these FBA sellers, and you gotta let that slide, and then you gotta get in on the back end as well. Because I know with Amazon, products have a long cycle. Products from 2015, 2010, new inventory, you know, still sells. There's no real date. You know, Amazon is popular for older stuff, not necessarily for the newest, coolest thing, although it's popular for that too. But old stuff does fine as well. Nothing's really dated or expires per se. Sometimes I will keep lowering my price to drive their price way down. Once it gets so low, I'll stop lowering mine. I'll let them sell out. Yeah, I do the same thing. People are automating their price. I'll see what theirs is at. It gets tedious, especially when you have a lot of inventory. So, but I throw it on an automation. I'll let it drop down, and then I'll raise mine up. I'm always in and out. So if I see like, you know, whatever, I have like 100 SKUs that I want to automate them all down to a price, and let's test everybody else, see where my prices stop. If anything gets to like a certain number in my head, I'll just go scroll through all those, and then I'll just raise those back up. So, I mean, it takes me about 20 minutes to do that game. So it's not bad, but yeah, it's definitely worthwhile. Hatchimals or Lego in the mid 2017. Yeah, I don't do much Lego. I'm trying Hatchimals, but hasn't gone well. I haven't sold any of them. Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, it's kind of just a strategy game. You got to strategize. Definitely have to strategize. What else? What else is up? What else is new? No, just really that tip about spend time meme, looking, just looking at the hot sellers. And I tell people this as well. Spend time looking at movers and shakers, because um, you'll see products that are climbing the ranks, and then spend time looking at hot new releases. Hot new releases is filled with a lot of private label products, though. So you can see the hottest private label products that people are launching. But you guys aren't in private label yet, so focus on getting into private label as soon as you can. I mean, even I would encourage you, even if you can just go and find those 50-cent private label products. They're hard, but again, that's why retail arbitrage is so beneficial, because a lot of people don't use the concept of which of my retail arbitrage inventory is doing well, and then let me see if any of those things are just almost generic in a sense. They're not a brand name Lego or Hatchimal or something like that, but just a generic product from other possible, like toys is the worst one to do it in, but home is good. Baby is, well, now I would stay away from baby. Home, electronic, nah, housewares, sporting goods, automotive, pet, all those categories where it's just going to for the most part be a generic everyday use product. See if any of your retail average products are doing well, and then try to see if you can source those products from China, private label it, but see if you can source it for cheap, like see what you can source them for. Yeah, LOLs, because they're doing some creative stuff. Amazon's on one of my LOL listings right now, so I'm holding out on one of the LOL pills. So I think that particular product is like top 5 in toys. It must be doing at least right now 1,000 sales a day. Or excuse me, 1,000 sales a month for that rank. So Amazon's selling about 1,000 a month. I don't know how many Amazon buy though. But right now, they probably predicted their inventory right through to Christmas. I hope they sell out though, because I didn't buy a lot of the pills. I bought a lot of the balls, um, and I decided not to go to the number I was thinking of going to because I couldn't find a variety. I could only obviously find one or two that had depth. So, but I couldn't find a variety of the balls that were profitable. So, but the balls doing, I sell at least 5 or 6 balls a day, make $5 off every ball. Not bad. And that's for, I think right now it's at 25 or 28, 27, something like that. Yeah, I got ungated for automotive early. It was crazy. Automotive was one of my products that I got ungated for right out of the chute. I was even a brand new seller. I'd probably just sent, I think it was, honestly, I think it was my very first shipment. I had some stuff packaged in my home that were automotive, scanned it, was gated, tried how to, the whole automatic ungating, got automatically ungated for automotive. Now, for the most part, for automotive, I'm ungated. Did the same thing for baby. Did the same thing for beauty. To get ungated, meme, pretty sure I have a video on my channel. Just search for it. I think I have a 2-minuter that shows you in 2 minutes how to get ungated. But I'm sure you know how. You're just probably getting stuck on the ones that are asking you for receipts and letters. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, 100%. For the brands that are restricted, Mattel, all that type of stuff, you gotta you gotta reach out to them. A lot of people will reach out once. You gotta email them, phone them. You gotta search for the Canadian wholesaler or distributor of the product. Buying from the distributor usually allows you, again, um, get the letter before you buy the product. Okay? So get the letter from the distributors, reach out to distributors, ask them if you can put in an order. You're selling online and offline, uh, and you can tell them your niche. A lot of people also should start a website because then you can use the website as um, the name of your store when you're doing that. Yeah, I contact the manufacturers every time. I work in an industry where I deal with manufacturers on a day-to-day basis, probably about 70 of them. So it's nothing new to me on how to do all that. That's probably why I've had success doing that. And that's why I probably know how to have that conversation and who the right people to ask. But you got to reach out by email. You gotta show interest, show them interest by telling them how much you want to order. Okay, even if you want to order 5,000, put I'm interested in ordering 5,000 units. Then in the body, tell them you have a new store. You're looking to sell online and offline in your city. I'm from Calgary, from Vancouver. You're looking to put in an order of approximately 5,000 units in the next 6 to 12 months. You want to start with 200, 100, test the market. You're looking at a few other products. Would they be interested in opening you up? Or can you place an order, a sample order? So you can put whatever, I mean, you gotta speak their language. And it's a numbers game, so you got to reach out to as many manufacturers as you can. If you're just focused on one brand, they say no, or they never return your calls or your email, then there's no point in sitting and focusing on that one brand. There's so many brands that you can get opened up for. And that's why I say, don't focus on the brands that are ranked at the top 100 or 200. Look at those brands that are ranked 500 to 1,000, because no one else is really selling those brands. Look at other brands. Like I said, look on Pinterest. Look for the top selling toys, the top selling automotive, the coolest and trendy and popular sporting goods, and look for those brands. See if you can get opened up. Everyone that will open you up must provide you with a letter of authentication, qualification. You've contacted a few. Just warning, RA profits are higher than profits when buying from a distributor. Biggest benefit, though, is you can buy in bulk and have access to big catalog. Yeah, definitely. They're not going to sell to you for $4 a product that is, a $16 product. They're not going to give you that profit margin. So, like the one that I did on the Pinterest one, even at the end of the day, if you can, I said on there, if you can get 50% off, then voila, it's a gated product. If you can get 50% off and you can get ungated, you're the only sellers of that product, And plus, what I like about it is, and what I did like about the products I was looking at, I can't even remember what they are. They're some sort of suction cup things. What I liked about those products is the price point of those products were great. $50, $60 price point. So if I have to buy it for 30, Amazon takes 10, I get 20 at the end of the day. I'm gonna and it was super low rank. And there's no other FBA sellers. So there's most people don't like wholesale. For the most part, most people aren't huge fans of wholesale. I mean, there's probably like a ton of wholesalers. But when you talk to RA or private label people, they're not wholesale fans. Because why would you want to buy with a middleman when you could go direct to China and buy your products in China and have way more success? I mean, I'm not a retail arbitrage fan. For most people who know me, know I do retail arbitrage purely for YouTube. But it's not my bread. It doesn't put peanut butter on my toast. Private label is 100% where I put most of my money. Yeah, definitely. Still profitable, but you just definitely need the volume, and you definitely need the restrictions on other people. I wouldn't go wholesale. I'm just thinking like certain products are open and eligible for everybody. I wouldn't necessarily look for them in wholesale. Like, I don't know. I don't want to start saying a lot of products out here because it pisses some people off. But yeah, just clearance and RA is the best way to go. You want me to make a video talking to distributors? Okay, I'll try to do one from my phone for you, meme. I'll see if I can go through a conversation along with I'll do a screen share of an email that I would send out. I'll see if I can put something like that together, just a short 5-minute one, and I'll see if I can throw that out there for you. All right, guys, let's wrap this up. It's been about 55 minutes, and yeah, so it was fun, man. I haven't done this in a while, but I'm gonna jump on here as often as I can. I'll do up that video meme. I'm gonna go play around, see if there's anyone to reach out to. Jump on Pinterest. Check out trending stuff when you Google. Just go on Google trending whatever. Trending toys, trending men, trending girl stuff on Pinterest. Type that in. and you'll get a lot of great ones. And just look at content from people with high pins, high following on Pinterest. Those are usually the best ones. All right, guys. Coach Respect, the wise guy on Instagram. Make sure you're following me. Peace.